All right. With that, now I would like to go to the final stage of our event. And again, we are very delighted and honored to host Mr. Ambassador here. Thanks for creating this time in your busy schedule for us. I would, as promised at the beginning, I would like to give a very brief 5-minute recap of our 5-year history at Mext, what we have done, and what we would like to more in the future. So MEX stands for Next Generation of Manufacturing, and this is the story of how we enabled capability development nationwide for our industrial transformation. When we set out on this journey, we started with digital transformation, step by step. Then we went on to embrace green-related capabilities, and last but not least, AI transformation has been added to the development set, the capability set, and the single biggest value proposition is we are a one-stop shop providing everything related to those areas for industrial companies. So, how did the story start? Back in 2018, you see a time lapse of our implementation process. It was a very intensive 1.5-year period of setup from scratch. 2019, we started to conduct some pilots on the ground in the industrial factories of Turkey to see how this is going to be adopted and how the customer response is. And in 2020, August, 4th month of the pandemic, we inaugurated this place with President Erdogan. We cut the ribbon with the Minister of Industry and Technology. And since then, step by step, we started to extend our services to the entire Turkish industry. 2021 is an interesting milestone where through our World Economic Forum network, we started to offer our services to Azerbaijan. That was the first international expansion. Subsequently, we went into Saudi Arabia and UAE, as well as Romania and Germany also with one customer. And then, back in 2023, we recognized the importance of green transformation. That's why we are here for the Greensync program, recognizing the importance for the competitiveness, and started to offer our services in sustainability. And finally, last but not least, we have been designated as a European Digital Innovation Hub under the Digital Europe program. Effective this year, we have become an AI-related thematic digital innovation hub serving the SME community of Turkey. So just a couple of facts and figures about what we have done. Let me give you those. We are providing 4 critical services. We have a digital factory not only to showcase technology, but to teach it in detail to industrial community. We provide technical consultancy on the ground, so hands-on technical advisory. We upskill people at large, and we create an ecosystem. We promote partners to act in the transformation process of 15 manufacturing verticals in the meantime. So this is a place very inclusive of entire Turkish industrial spectrum, including small, medium-sized enterprises and large-scale companies. And when it comes to AI, we have also started to reach out to non-manufacturing industries as well. You can see at a large glance our impact so far within 5 years. Our digital factory is home to 250 use cases, which is added every day and progressing. On the advisory side, we have touched already more than 700 companies. And on the upskilling side, trained 31,000 people already, 60% of which are blue-collar employees. And we have partnership agreements with more than 100 global and local institutions. How have we been able to do that? How we have been able to scale the impact? It's through 3 mechanisms. On the public support mechanism side, the Ministry of Industry and Technology gave us visibility and positioned Mext as a service provider to the entire nation. This helped us to scale our activities. On the private side, especially we partnered with finance institutions like İş Bankası and TEB of this country. And going forward, hopefully with other institutions like EBRD and World Bank, we would like to do more programs at scale. And last but not least, European Union funding enabled us to embark on large-scale projects and bringing our services to a bigger community of industrial customers. many projects we have completed. The whole point of this slide is to show you that we have done multiple projects which gave us the opportunity to offer our services as a bundle, both technical advisory and upskilling training services. We helped other institutions also in the process, as you see, to bring their capability centers alive. And hopefully we will have more big scale impact projects like women empowerment or the one we are launching officially today, Greensync, under the IPA 3 program. And as I mentioned, we are very proud to be officially designated as a European Digital Innovation Hub on an important topic like AI. We are the consortium leader of a very powerful group, as you see. We have joined forces with other institutions to deliver AI-related services, be it training, be it technical advisory, be it access to infrastructure and finance. We will be helping more than 30,000 SMEs going forward in the next 4 years. And this is the whole value proposition of MEX. We are a one-stop shop, and we have proven to be an inclusive center that is not only touching a given industry or a region. We have become a de facto nationwide industrial transformation center, inclusive of SMEs and multinational companies doing actual production here. And we are once again very much honored for this special address opportunity. As we have listened to multiple experts in the earlier session, I think it will serve as a very valuable wrap-up. If I may invite Your Excellency to deliver this special address. Thank you very much again, once again, for your time and being with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Sayın Konuklar, merhaba. It's a great pleasure to be here. I thank MEX for this nice welcome here. And I was told I should give a keynote speech. So keynote speech is a little bit longer, so I hope you're well seated and don't fall asleep. But of course, this launch event of Greensync today is something which, of course, is another waypoint for MEX and also for our cooperation. And I would like to underline that, of course, what makes this cooperation so fascinating is that when we come together here and launch a project like that, we see that innovation meets ambition. It is something that we undertake in order to change things, to change the way we produce, the way we work together. And it is a project that should connect factories with foresight, engineers with ecosystems, and turning sustainability from a buzzword into a very concrete blueprint. Here at MEX, and I'm also for the first time here, I'm very grateful to see it. I believe industrial future is actually being built. And I would like to thank MEX and MES for bringing us together in this remarkable hub of innovation and collaboration. And I'm happy to see that what we call IPA, the pre-accession aid, which we have for Turkey as a candidate country, and here in particular now IPA 3, produces these nice projects, because we are opening with that also a new chapter within the broader context of the EU-Turkey re-engagement. You might have perhaps realized that since last year, we started to re-engage between Turkey and the European Union, which is important because, as I said, Turkey is a candidate country of the European Union. And we had several years of standstill behind us. And now we have established a new roadmap. And with this roadmap, we would really like to reinforce the cooperation, because we consider Turkey, as a whole, as a strategic partner in the region. It is very important to strengthen our links, because we already have a lot of links. I mean, Turkish companies are very well integrated in European value chains. We have a lot of people-to-people contacts. We have students going, thanks to Erasmus, to member states of the European Union. You participate very actively in the Horizon Europe programs. And we have researchers going forth and back. And we need to open this space of cooperation between Turkey and the European Union, because there's so much potential in it. And that's why also during my stay here, one of my pet projects was also to work on the visa issue. And I am happy that we could kind of introduce now a change in the visa system, which will allow Turkish citizens to have easier long-term visas with multiple entries. That was overdue, I believe. But also I used that opportunity to invite the Turkish government also to engage with us again on a visa liberalization program, because Turkey is the only candidate country of the European Union which has no visa-free travel, and it's not because of us. This because somehow the cooperation stopped, and while we were able to conclude all these visa-free agreements with all kind of other candidate countries and beyond, somehow it stopped. And now we encouraged very much, and I'm very glad also that Minister Bollert was very outspoken in the media these recent days. And I hope that in the second half of this year we can re-engage with Turkey on the visa liberalization dialogue, because that's what we need between the European Union and Turkey. Free travel, but also based on certain, of course, benchmarks, because member states insist on it. But it is certainly a very important, also a new chapter, or an important chapter in our bilateral relations. But now let me come back to the topic of today. That was a little bit the broader picture. But you see my heart beats also, and I felt it very strongly over the last month, year I have been here, that this visa issue is so prominent here in the media and in the public opinion, and it is very urgent that we change something about it. And as I always tell my counterparts in the Turkish government, it takes two to tango, and if there's political will on both sides, also on the Turkish side, we will be able to solve also this riddle and come to visa-free travel between the European Union, the Schengen states, and Turkey. But it demands efforts, and also efforts from the Turkish side, I tell you very openly. So, but for the today's lounge, I would like to insist on three themes. First of all, why or what is the European Union's vision for clean and competitive industry? Secondly, what is the strategic value of the EU-Turkey industrial partnership, in particular in this area? And third, how can we turn this momentum into real shared progress together again? So let me talk first about the EU vision. We all know that also for Europe, the European Union, the member states, innovation is a challenge. We are falling behind. Our societies are growing older. And while the member states of the European Union, and in particular my home country, Germany, have always been a hub for innovation and progress, we have seen over the last years, if we don't do more and focus a little bit better, we will fall behind. So we need to act. And in February this year, the European Commission has published the Clean Industrial Deal, a strategy that should turn climate action into an engine for industrial growth and strength. That is the whole point of it. We need to take the need to combat climate change also as an opportunity to grow our innovation, our industrial strength. We have three core pillars for that. First of all, we would like to close the innovation gap with the US and China, especially with China, which is kind of really running ahead. We want to link decarbonization with competitiveness, and we want to ensure economic security through strategic autonomy, meaning that we as a continent, as partners, as European Union, together with the candidate countries, with Turkey, that we create our, let's say, self-reliance in economic terms, meaning that we are not dependent if someone decides, for example, if China decides to shut us off from something, or if the US decides to put unbelievable high tariffs on our trade and exchange, that we are still sustainable as an economic union here in Europe with our partners. And we know that this resilience depends very much on a resilient industrial base. We must therefore lead and find ways to lead in clean technologies. We must reduce dependencies, and we must invest in the skills and capabilities of tomorrow. And we see 6 business drivers here. The business drivers for our joint purpose must be affordable energy, lead markets, smart financing, very important, circular economy and material access, global market integration, high quality jobs and skills. Sounds all a little bit kind of technical and even perhaps a little bit theoretical, but altogether these 6 business drivers can constitute an ecosystem which will help us to develop our strategic autonomy. And Turkey is certainly a very important partner in that structure. So secondly, I wanted to insist on the strategic importance of, in particular, the EU-Turkey industrial partnership. There are very impressive statistics today. You know, the EU is Turkey's biggest trading partner with more than 210 billion euros of bilateral trade. For us, Turkey is the 5th largest trading partner, so it means that also, you know, Turkey for the European Union member states is not far away, but it's the 5th largest trading partner. We have a balanced trading system. I mean, basically we import as much from Turkey than we export. That is also very beneficial. This Turkey doesn't have with all its international trading partners. For example, with China, your trade is very imbalanced. So it already shows that by having this balanced trading as a trading result, we are very good partners to each other. And we base our cooperation on a customs union, which has been around now for many, many years, already 30 years almost. But you know that this customs union is totally out of age. I mean, it's too old, it's old-fashioned. Because when we concluded the customs union in 1996, there was no internet trade yet, and certain products in our bilateral trade didn't figure in there. So of course we have to modernize the customs union. And since I arrived also last year, we have been working very closely also with the Ministry of Trade, especially with Deputy Minister Tuzcu and Minister Bolat. We had 2 high-level dialogues on trade. We've been working on reducing the trade irritants which exist between the European Union and Turkey in order to prepare the ground for the modernization of the customs union. And I seriously hope that we will be able soon, hopefully very soon, to start the negotiations on a modernized customs union. Because if we talk today about a trade volume of more than 200 billion euros, I mean, if we have a modernized customs union, I think we can even double that amount of bilateral trade. And you see the potential which lies in there. Today, we already work together very closely in certain key sectors, in machinery, steel, automotive, especially, you know, the supply chains for the European car industry are very deeply rooted here in Turkey. And 80% of your Turkish car exports go to the EU. And more importantly, Turkish manufacturers are aligned with EU standards. And we participate in cross-border research and development and innovation, especially in the car industry sector. This is very important. In short, we build together, we trade together, and we innovate together. And that makes the strong pillars of our cooperation. And what we can do here also as EU delegation is that we continue to kind of support that with concrete projects through the EPA instruments, the pre-accession assistance 1, 2, and 3. We have already channeled over 740 million euro to strengthen Turkey's competitiveness with strong focus on SMEs, research and development, and tech transfer. And Turkey is an emerging innovator. And I already mentioned Horizon Europe, where Turkey takes part in joint research and innovation as a full associated member. You know, as a matter of fact, you think Turkey is just a candidate country, but Turkey participates in certain EU programs as a fully associated members, like in Horizon Europe. So it means you're much closer already to this membership than you sometimes think. And we also heard it with the launch of the new European Institute of Innovation and Technology hub in Turkey. We have strengthened ties between entrepreneurs and researchers and Europe's largest research network. Let me point out very clearly and emphasize that the partnership between the EU and Turkey in industry is a cornerstone for us, for you, for innovation, for resilience, for sustainable growth, and by addressing the trade barriers which still exist between the two areas, and by deepening our innovation ecosystems, and by modernizing our frameworks, we can seize the opportunities of the transformation in the green and digital sector much better if we do it together. And now my third point today is about seizing the opportunities, especially through Greensync. That is a new kind of project which can help us to elaborate and develop our cooperation. You know, the project wants to tackle 20% of Turkey's greenhouse gas emissions that come from manufacturing. This is a serious challenge. But instead of tackling it from a top-down approach, we try through the Greensync to build an ecosystem. More precisely, a control tower for monitoring emissions and improving supply chain decisions. We want to establish life cycle assessments and tailor transition roadmaps for 15 pilot firms. We will have a sustainability policy forum and a young policy forum where ideas and solutions are being developed together. And we will train over 500 professionals, especially in human resources and supply chain functions. And that can also then make a difference. The goal is clear. We don't want to make the Turkish manufacturing sector just compliant. We want to make it competitive and future-oriented. Not just reactive, but proactive. Not just as a participant, but as a leader, as a co-leader in Europe's green economy and in Europe's green and digital transition. And for that, and by this, I would almost like to conclude, I will conclude. We need to focus on certain priorities. Priority one is first policy alignment. Let's keep EU and Turkish regulations connected, you know, from the Green Deal to the carbon border adjustment mechanism, from corporate sustainability reporting to corporate sustainability due diligence. Alignment here in all these regulatory frameworks means that we build access, predictability, and investment confidence, and that we create this ecosystem where we can operate together very easily. The second priority should be to focus on skills and innovation. Upskilling is not just a luxury, it is an industrial policy. Let's prepare our engineers, our factory staff, our business leaders to navigate and in this ecosystem and voila, and kind of just make sure that whatever we kind of conceive together is being properly used by the labor, but the leaders, by the skilled laborers, and by the people on the ground. The third priority should be empowerment of small and medium-sized enterprises, because we know it, they are the backbones of our economies. I come from a country, Germany again, where the SMEs were basically responsible for the economic strength. It was not the big companies like Volkswagen, Mercedes, or the big banking sector like Deutsche Bank, etc. Of course they were important, but the real backbone of the German economy are the SMEs. And that's why it is so important to offer SMEs access to finance, technology, market integration opportunities, so that they can participate and be very strong partners in their transition into clean value chains. And finally, another priority is stakeholder dialogue. We need open platforms like this, where industry, public authorities, academia, civil society all have a seat. And that the green transition is not just being done, but that it is a fair green transition where everyone can benefit from. It is a common journey. It's a team play. We are all part of it. And again, Turkey, in its connection with the European Union member states, plays a very important role. We can play in sync, not just by reducing emissions, but by creating new business, new jobs, and new trust. And Greensync is a powerful element in this new team play. So congratulations again to Mext and to all partners who bring this milestone to function and to fruition. On behalf of the European Union and on behalf of my delegation, I'm proud we are walking this path together. I reaffirm our full support for your work. I'm glad that my colleague Mustafa Bey is also among us, who is leading this project in the delegation. Let's stay bold, let's stay connected, and let's make the green transition real all together. Thank you. Teşekkür ederim.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your powerful and strategic measures. But let me keep you 2 more minutes to present your just a memory from today, from Eferdem.
We are very grateful for your presence, and also we would like to thank you for your period here in Turkey. And in memory of today's launch event, we would like to present something, reminder of metal industry.
Oh, wow, well.
Yes.
It's very heavy.
On behalf of the association.
Nice place on my office desk.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
so
Mr.
much.
Ambassador. And I think we are now going into the factory.
We have 5 more minutes in the conference room. After that, we are going. Mr. Ambassador already touched on our project dimensions, but I will give the recent updates as you are here, and also the company's representative over there, how we can engage more with this funding.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for being us today, Mr. Ambassador, the participants, and your patience. We are reaching the end of today before the factory tour. Factory tour will focus on the sustainability, how digital transformation enables sustainability. I hope you also enjoy during this part. But before conclude, we touch on multi-stakeholder forum and the policy knowledge hub, many more dimensions funded by the EU through the Greensync ecosystem project. That's why I would like to give very brief information about the project and how we can engage more. We are engaging very strongly with this group, but we have more elements into it. Yes, this project lasts 36 months, and we are right now in the mid of the project. This is intentionally this launch event. We are saying this is launch event, but we intentionally plan this launch event in the mid of project to showcase what we achieved so far and what we have as a next step. Mr. Ambassador already mentioned these are our KPIs and our targets which we are planning to achieve after three years. We already achieved these targets, the deployment and reaching out these professionals, but we have more activities into it. I'm not gonna repeat one more time the objective. It is so clear. Objective is to accelerate the green transformation of Turkish manufacturing companies by aligning Turkish companies with the EU regulation and open this space as a multi-stakeholder and for the open dialogue to be more competitive supporting green competitiveness. This project funded by the IPA scheme as well, but not directly from the EU. This is the only difference than the other project. We have three main activities, foundational building blocks, let's say. First of all, this project is targeting the capacity building. Not only capacity building of the Turkish companies, the manufacturing companies, but also the capacity building of Next. This is kind of an internal upskilling project as well, thanks to EU funding. That's why we built our team and upskilled our team. We are still learning during 3 months, but also we are helping to capacity building of Turkish companies with the technological perspective and also with the training programs. As Mr. Ambassador also touched on, our target is reaching more than 500 professionals from Turkish companies, but specifically we are targeting supply chain professionals because even today, we touch many times how the supply chain is important to trigger, to make continuous of the progress. That's why supply chain professionals and the human resources professionals for the just transition perspective as well. And the second part, the supply chain transformation, we are helping with this funding, we are helping Turkish companies under the small pilot supply chain transformation program, similar like EBRD and the World Bank leading in the market with the anchor buyer and the suppliers. We are doing we are helping the technical consultancy, identification of the current maturity of the companies, sustainability maturity of the companies, and supporting, giving them roadmap and identifying appropriate funding opportunities for these companies through this funding. We are mobilizing also, even though EU IPA 3 scheme funding these technical consultancy, we are also mobilizing some additional funding to make this road mapping in the solid actions in the field. And the third one, for sure, as part of the multi-stakeholder forum, regulatory and compliance strategies, we established a multi-stakeholder forum. Today, we also did the third gathering meeting. We will have 7 more in the following 1.5 years. Proudly say, even though this is kind of a multi-stakeholder forum from public-private institutions and the CSOs, we will also do similar multi-stakeholder forum with the young professional to support them create peer learning ecosystem for them. Next week we will have an opening event for the young professional forum. These young professional forum from the industries and also other entities, up to 5 to 7 years experience. We will teach them green transformation fundamentals and also be matchmaking with the more professional experts from the industry to trigger them to start maybe creating new innovative projects through this forum. And also we are publishing newsletters and also some policy analysis through the Policy Knowledge Hub. These are the elements of project. I'm not going to deep dive each pages because we are in connect and we can also discuss how we can increase this communication more. But we would like to give the whole idea of whole dimensions, let's say, building blocks of the project to engage more, to think more, and discuss. We will see the supply chain control tower through the digital factory tour. The supply chain control tower is a key key technology implementation for us with the help of this funding, because as we mentioned, supply chain is so important to drive the sustainability transformation for SMEs as well, we are seeing how digital elements can help sustainability professionals to track their suppliers and also the CO2 emissions and other KPIs as well. This is the backbone, let's say, of the Greensync project. You will see deep dive through the factory tour. I already mentioned the specific. You see, projects still ongoing. Even though we completed the diagnostic phases in the shop floor, but we will also publish insights reports, and we will look at what we can do with other funding opportunities to expand this pilot supplier transformation studies for the wider ecosystem. You are part of the multi-stakeholder forum, and the Young Professional Forum starts next week. And these are the published policy analyses which we are sending to our participants. This is a very complex Gantt chart. We have too many things to do, but we are on track. We believe ourselves. This project is kind of a starting point, and internal capability building the capability building activity, similar organizations like civil society organizations in Turkey. But as we are very close to manufacturing companies, we are engaging, and we are seeing the solid output impact of the project after 3 years. This is whole. Actually, we touch on multi-stakeholder forum today a lot, but we have too many things to engage with you. I think I reach end of my presentation, and after that we will have a digital factory tour right now. As the master of ceremony today I'm changing my role too. Let me explain how you can join these digital factory tours. Your cards, your name tags has a color-coded small dots. It starts with the red group, but if you would like to join other groups, you can also do so, because we are not so crowded right now as far as I can count. And the next group will start 20 minutes lagging than the first one, and also the blue group. My friend Beyda, she's here to guide first group to the digital factory tour and deep dive supply chain control tower, digital product passports, examples, implementations, and many more technological solutions enables sustainability and to reach our targets. And thank you so much for being us today. I think we reached the end of our event. Thank you.